Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author, Letters from a Bookish Fangirl, Team Lines of Poetry Collection, and Finding God Anime Devotional for Otakus, which is free on a variety of platforms. I'll leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Happy Wednesday, my friends! I'm so excited to be back. I'm so sorry that I did not do a video, like Top 5 Wednesday video last week. My daughter was super sick, and then I was sick, and it was just a hot mess, and so I was not able to film and get on here, but today I am. As you guys can see, I have a totally new bookshelf. It was a present from my family for my birthday. I have wanted white bookcases for a long time, but I knew that I would not actually go out and buy one because I'm like, well, I have bookcases already. I don't need any fancy white ones, but I figured my family would not want to just buy me manga, and they seemed pretty excited that I asked for something that was not specifically just more manga. That's not to say that I still did not go buy manga for my birthday, but I hope that you guys just enjoyed this last month of all the birthday celebration. Thank you so much for just celebrating with me. If you guys missed my last video that I did with Kiki from Book Vibes, please go check it out. We did the ABCs of manga, and it was just such a great and wonderful time. Like I said, please go check it out. Go subscribe to her channel. She is just a wonderful person, and I really enjoy chatting with her. Also, officially, the giveaway has closed. I will leave the winners handled. I will also respond to that person's comment in the actual video, or on that video, I mean. So please make sure you double check to see if you won or not. And again, thank you so much for all celebrating with me and entering that giveaway. This past birthday was just so much fun, and it was just so special to have you guys all on this adventure with me. But let's go ahead and kick off Top 5 Wednesday because I am super hyped for just the prompts for this month for Top 5 Wednesday. It is going to be so much fun. But in case if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday, Top 5 Wednesday was formed by Lainey back in 2013. The group is now since on Goodreads, and I'll also leave a link down below in case if you'd like to check it out. Each week, our host creates a series of prompts for Wednesdays, and on that Wednesday, we answer that prompt with books, but in this case, I do manga, and we share just those said picks. This week's prompt is Friends That Made You Read. I think every book reader has honestly felt that peer pressure of they need to read this certain manga or certain book because they see their friends gushing about it, they're raving about it, and they're like, you must read it. Anybody else experience this probably on a day-to-day basis of where you're just man, everybody's saying how good it is, or out of your friends, and you're like, oh, I really need to check it out. So today we're talking about the top 5 manga that I have felt that my friends are like, Laura, you must read. In fact, I wasn't even sure which manga to kick this video off with because 2 of them, I feel like I am always being told that I need to read this. So much. But I guess because it is a classic, let's go with number 1, and that is Fruits Basket. Yes, I have not read Fruits Basket, nor have I seen the original anime, how you'd say that, or the reboot. I have not seen either, though I'm not gonna lie, I did see the end of the reboot because I need to make sure that a certain ship sailed. Yep, I did that because I have no control when it comes to the romantic ships here. But yes, I have slowly been trying to collect this series. I feel very determined this year to actually read it because, I mean, so many people have read it and they gushed about it and they're just like, Laura, I really think you would enjoy this. And it's funny because I have been told by more than one person that I am the main character, or her and I are extremely similar. So I'm like, well, I feel sort of obligated to actually read it for that alone because I'm like, okay, I'm really curious. But like I said, I also feel like this is a shoujo classic. I mean, if there is a shoujo that everybody has read or at least knows so much about, Fruits Basket is it. But my knowledge of Fruits Basket is very low. I have a ship, I love the ship, but that's all I've got. I don't know anything else really about this manga. So this year, I made sure to put it on my top 10 list of series I want to finish, or I want to start and finish this year, so I can actually say that I have read it. I do have up to volume 5. I recently picked up volume 5, or the omnibus volume 5, for my birthday of all things, and I am trying to get volume 6. I saw that volume 7 is out of stock and it's extremely hard to find, but I feel pretty confident that my library does have the rest of this series. So at least I can finally start it. And there was a very sweet friend that gifted me one of the volumes this past month too, or last month. So I definitely feel like, yes, I need to read, because she's like, people need more fruits basket in their life. So this is a sign. This is a sign. This is going to be one of the manga that I for sure read this year, so that I can tell all my friends that are saying I need to read it that I've officially read it. For number 2, this one is a must for sure that has to be on this list, and that is Yona of the Dawn. Oh my goodness, I don't know how many people have told me that I need to read Yona, and I would absolutely love and adore this story. I really don't know how many people have told me I have. And I even did a video, even though I haven't read Yona of the Dawn, I did do a video talking about how Hawk and Yona are one of like my favorite couples. So like, I feel like, I mean, yes, I could ship them even without seeing the anime or reading the manga, but I'm like, Laura, I think it's time that you do need to read it. And so I've been trying so hard to get the first set of volumes, but they're just not in stock on Right Stuff. So I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, it is officially time. I just need to get the series from my library and just start reading it. I am increasingly growing impatient that I cannot dive into this manga. Yes, I could read volume 1, but I'm like, okay, I've enjoyed what I've read, and it's time to keep going. Like, it's time to go to volume 2 and so forth. So hopefully this year, those volumes will come back in stock and I can actually start reading Yona of the Dawn, because I feel maybe even more than Fruits Basket, I feel like this is the most recommended manga that I get all the time. Maybe I don't get the same shock factor when I tell people that I have not read Fruits Basket or seen the anime, but I definitely get the you must read this right now, Lara, for Yona of the Dawn. So I'm sure I'm not the only one, but like we said, we just need those first volumes to come back in stock so that we can actually start this series. For number 3, I'm pretty excited to talk about this one as well, because this is another one that friends are like, you need to read, especially since I did read High School Debut and absolutely loved High School Debut so much. In fact, I was just recently rereading it. It's just so good. If you need to hear all my gushing, I got a video review of it. It is just a phenomenal series. And I found out that the mangaka of High School Debut also did this. So for number 3, I'm saying My Love Story. I feel like this is one that is just so well loved, like from all ages and from male and females, which is so cool to me. I love how it's just able to like push past like maybe the gender stereotypes or gender demographic, not stereotypes, the demographic, and just speak to all readers. And I have been just so very curious about this one, and you guys have heard me more than once talk about my woe of I can't find volume 12, and just I'm like, like I found volume 12 on Macari, and literally within the first 5 minutes somebody had already snatched it up because it was a reasonable price, and I'm like, I just don't blame you, but I wish it was me. So, and of course that's the one volume my library doesn't have, but this is one that I'm really excited to read, definitely excited to try. I mean, I feel like I've had a few different friends say, you really need to read this. It's very funny, very sweet, and it seems that most people who try it really enjoy it. So yes, definitely My Love Story is another one that friends are like, you must read. For number 4, I'm super pumped to talk about this one because I've actually read the first volume, and that is Takane and Hana. I felt like so many people were reading this last year because the final volume released, I think it was in November, and everybody just kept saying, Laura, I really think you would enjoy it. It's so funny. And so I finally like read volume 1 from my library, absolutely loved it so much. Like if you need a good romance comedy, Takane and Hana truly seems to deliver just that and more. The characters are absolutely hilarious. And so I've told people that I have not finished the series, and they're like, well, you need to finish the series because it just gets better. It's just that more funnier, and it's just that great. Like it's just a very funny story, and for the most part I feel like a lot of people really enjoy it, like not just my friends that I know who have read it, but just as a whole, because just of that comedy aspect. And you can tell that the mangaka is just having like so much fun, or at least it appears that way, and it just comes off the page so naturally. I mean, I laughed so much reading this. This is another series that I definitely have on my top 10 series that I want to finish or read and finish this year. And maybe I should do a video about that because I did read one of them. And yeah, I feel like Like, I'm actually hyped to try and catch up on these series like Takane and Hana and Fruits Basket that I have not started or have not finished, and want to make it a priority to actually do that because I love the covers, and I just love, like, for the manga challenge that Marg and I recently did last month for the love of shoujo, I loved how Takane and Hana was a frequent manga that we saw so much of. Like, there's just so much love for this series, so I feel like not even just friends are recommending and telling me to read this, but I feel like the manga community almost as a whole is like, go and read this manga. So yes, I need to get on the hype train and finish this series so I can join all of the, like, love for this series with all of my other friends and just the shoujo manga community. For number 5, last but not least, I have not gotten a lot of recommendations for this one, but I do feel for sure that my friends made me read this. So, and for number 5, that is the Apoca Diaries. Oh my goodness, I picked this up like sort of on a whim this past Christmas. Right Stuff had the first 3 volumes in a bundle, and I was like, man, I know Shay and Marg and numerous other friends keep talking about how good this series is, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna try it. We're just gonna try it and see how it goes. And I read this first volume with my really good friend, Pink Pocky Manga, over on Instagram. Oh my goodness, it was just so good. It was so good. It was so funny. In fact, this manga really surprised me in how much I loved it. Like, I felt that I would like it. Obviously, I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise if I didn't feel that way. But then when I started reading, and I just laughed so much more than I expected. And the banter, oh, it is so, so good. Like, dude, I mean, just the banner of this series is everything, and our main girl's expressions are hilarious. I mean, this manga was such a true surprise to me, and I really honestly did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. My goal this week, actually, tonight, is to actually read volume 2 because she's already read it, and I'm behind on her buddy read, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm pretty sure that she enjoyed it. I didn't read her whole post, or like her whole caption on her post about it, because I didn't know if I have spoilers or not, and I'm like, I'm behind. So I'm like, I need to catch up. Just really enjoyed this first volume, and I love the mystery aspect. So if I can definitely say it was worth it, it was worth the hype, or it is the hype, however you want to say that, and just so, so good. I would definitely recommend it. There's only like one scene I was like, dude, this is so uncalled for. Do we really need this? So just keep that in mind. But the the manga as a whole is just phenomenal. And I'm really, really excited to read the second volume. It's been a little bit that I feel like I've been excited for a manga that was like not something that was already on my like watch list or my wish list, or just something that I was curious about. I mean, yeah, I was sort of curious about this series, but it was not something that was directly on my TBR or anything. But now that I've read it, and now that it is, yes, I need to go ahead and dive into volume 2. I think I just pre-ordered volume 5 the other day. So yes, the hype for this series is real. Thank you, friends, for encouraging me to read this and check it out because it is so good. And with that, I guess that concludes my top 5 manga that my friends are like, you must read, Laura. But I would love to hear from you guys. What are some manga titles or series that your friends are like, you must read this? Go ahead, share them with me. I would say I feel your pain, but it's a good pain, you know what I mean? Because we always want to read more manga, even if our wallets are like, you don't need any more manga. So I don't know, take it how it is, I suppose. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!